I mean, I was shocked to hear you say that there are 12, 13 people in the global Magnum team, which is so lean. Like if you think of a multi-billion-dollar brand having...
Yeah, it's true.
How many exactly people in the global team?
Yeah, so...
Did I get it right? 12?
Yeah, around 13 people, indeed, are part of the global Magnum brand. So Magnum is, of course, part of the Magnum ice cream company. So within the Magnum ice cream company, we have a bit more than 100 brands. But Magnum, yes, being a flagship brand of the company, being led so lean, is a sign, because I think it also shows that with such a lean team, you can have the expertise, but you can also have a structure that allows you to act with speed and impact. And I think that is something that truly differentiates us as well from some of the other iconic brands in consumer goods.
You starting to define this Magnum way of marketing or way that we see brands. Like if I think of Unilever versus like the big opposite, which is like P&G. Like you have P&G, which is more functional brand. Like what's the functional purpose of the brand versus Unilever, which is more about, I don't know, real beauty and with Dove and like you can
platform building.
Well, yes, and what is the direction that's Magnum is? Which side are they going to be leaning more?
Yeah, I think it's tough to define how the future will turn out in that sense. But I think, like I said, from Unilever, the real power of brands is something we will absolutely not let go of. And I think combining that with a mindset that combines both functional and emotional benefits together is something really beautiful. So obviously the product needs to be the highest quality. We need to deliver value to our consumers, but the way we talk about it needs to be distinctive, you know, and together with the guys at Lola and our other agencies, we really want to make sure that we don't forget about the emotion that people bring, because ice cream is emotion too. I mean, seeing a child eating an ice cream for the first time, right? You remember that smile on the face, you know?
I'm gonna have the smile when we eat one.
Yeah, it's truly, it brings smiles across the world, and it's such a fun category to work on, you know? And obviously Magnum is sort of adult ice cream brand within that, but think about ice cream dynamic. It's so much fun. It brings so much pleasure on people's faces. So, you know, having a combination between functional and emotional attributes is something we will always have, because ice cream is much more than a product, it's an emotion.
Yeah, I think also now that we've been working, well, the past 2 years, year and a half, as Unilever is a different, well, a separate brand, and we saw a lot of increased speed in the briefings. Also, we feel like right now we have a lot more space and agility to do some things that we would love to. And I feel like obviously there's the good part and the bad part of everything, you know. Even different marketing models like Mondelez or P&G, they have the good part and the bad part. Like all of that has two sides. And I guess Unilever, with all of this brand building and the power of it, which is the good side, there's also some other parts that sometimes create a barrier when we wanted to really bring some idea to life, something that it was huge and sometimes really difficult to, you know, get approval or, you know, get the idea moving up. And I guess now that we are as a separate brand, we have more control of that. And I mean, we're just discussing that we approve a campaign 2 months ago, it's already shoot, it's almost on air. That's a level of agility that we didn't have before because of the process, because, you know, the size of the company as well. All of that influences how fast or how big you can go for an idea.
Am I correct to understand you haven't defined yet a framework for the Magnum way of marketing?
We have a foundation, but we're building as we speak, right? So I think we always saying we're constructing the airplane while flying. And I think that's just something super exciting. So we have a certain level of foundation, like the big brands that we're building on. There's so much occasions out there that we can still go after and truly grow the impact of ice cream globally, that I think it's just something super exciting to go after those occasions, define them further. What's the right format? What's the right product to play in? And that's not even only applicable to Magnum as a brand, but to the overall Magnum ice cream company with all of its brands in the portfolio, because they all have a different role to play.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like you, in this more startup phase of the company, it's like we don't need the frameworks, the whatever it might be from Unilever and all the SASE framework, whatever, for us to define how we are cutting straight to the chase. We're looking at we carry the fundamentals, we know them, and we're not restricting ourselves to at least a framework right now.
Frameworks and processes can slow you down, right? And I think that should sometimes, shouldn't be kind of an objective, right? To just have a framework and process in place. You need frameworks, you need processes. I think it also lays a certain foundation. But if you think about speed, even in terms of unlocking investments, these type of things, the fact that you're a pure play ice cream company that acts in the snacking world allows you to unlock investments faster, So in terms of frameworks and processes, they're great as long as they support a longer term strategy as well and doesn't slow you down. And I think we have such a momentum right now, which is so exciting, that I think frameworks and processes, of course, we have them in place, and it's important, but let's make sure it doesn't slow us down in terms of being able to leverage opportunities that we see in the market. And I think that's the same with you guys, right? If we brief you guys, it's still important to pay a lot of attention.
Yeah, obviously. No, I think one thing that we always say internally with Magnum, but also other brands, is that it's an evolution, it's not a revolution. I feel like this new moment is an evolution for Magnum as a whole company. As we were saying, we are obviously having and keeping the heritage that, one of the biggest companies in the world gave us, but also we are also understanding the things that maybe wasn't working the same way or the way we wanted, and we are evolving that. We are gaining speed, gaining independence, gaining autonomy, all of these other things that comes together with it.